You feel better about yourself when you say what needs to be said at the time it needs to be said and not afterwards where you go home and think. You're just running around looking for the exit, and this bad movie continues to just haunt you.
Race takes up too much space. Ice Cube just dropped this truth bomb, and it's got people talking. The hip-hop icon's not afraid to challenge the status quo, even if it means ruffling some feathers. Want to know why Cube thinks we're all stuck in a bad movie when it comes to identity politics? This video breaks down his controversial views on why personal connections should be about shared values, not skin color, and Ice Cube wasn't always the outspoken icon we know today. Before he was dropping beats and spitting rhymes, Cube was studying architectural drafting. Can you believe it? The guy who'd go on to write some of the most controversial lyrics in hip-hop history was planning on designing buildings, but life had other plans for him. One day, Cube's older brother dropped a box of records in his room. That box changed everything. Suddenly, Cube was hooked on hip-hop. He started writing rhymes and performing at parties. Before long, he hooked up with Dr. Dre and Eazy-E to form NWA. And just like that, gangsta rap was born. NWA's music hit America like a sledgehammer. They were raw, angry, and unapologetic. Cube's lyrics painted a picture of life in South Central LA that most Americans had never seen before. It wasn't pretty, but it was real, and people couldn't get enough of it. But Cube wasn't content to just be a rapper, he wanted more. So he made the jump to movies. And you know what? He brought that same rebellious spirit with him, from Boys and the Hood to Friday. Cube kept it real on the big screen too. These days, a lot of people know Cube more for his acting than his music. Why? Because he's been in so many damn movies. But don't get it twisted, he's still the same guy who once rapped, "Fuck that police." He's just found new ways to speak his mind. Recently, Cube made a statement about being a man today that got people talking. He said, "Men have been reduced to being fathers or baby daddies." Damn, that's some heavy stuff. Cube's basically saying society's got men all boxed in, like they can't be anything more than what they do for their kids. So has Ice Cube's success proved that being real pays off, or has he changed his tune over the years? That's the million-dollar question. Some people say he's sold out, but others think he's just evolved. Either way, one thing's for sure, Cube's still speaking his mind, whether you like it or not.
The United States, like the United Kingdom, that people are too frightened to speak their mind, to say what they think. What do we do about this?
I think you say what you want to say.
You'd think a guy like Ice Cube would be all about racial unity, right? Wrong? He's got a take on race that's got everyone scratching their heads. What if everything we thought about connecting with people is backwards? Ice Cube just dropped a truth bomb that's shaking things up.
So it's not about race. It's not about color and gender and this and that.
He said, "I think race takes up too much space." Yeah, you heard that right. The guy who made his name in gangsta rap is saying we're too hung up on race. But hold up, he's not saying what you might think. Cube's not telling us to ignore race. Nah, he's saying we're looking at it all wrong. Instead of focusing on skin color, he thinks we should be asking, who do you connect with? Who do you vibrate with? It's about shared values, not shared melanin.
It's about who do you connect with? You know, who do you vibrate with?
That's some deep stuff from a guy who used to rap about the hood. But here's the kicker, some big name shows won't let Cube speak his mind. Oprah? Nope. The View? No way, they're shutting him out.
But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded.
Cube's straight up confused about it. He said, "I've been excluded on Oprah. I don't know what that's really about." Even when they had the cast of his movie Barbershop on, Cube wasn't invited. What's up with that? It gets weirder.
I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and
Cube thinks he's been blocked from The View because of his politics. He said, "A few of the hosts just really didn't like where I was coming from. I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess." So much for diverse viewpoints, huh? Cube's not just talking about TV shows, he's going after reality TV too. He says these shows are pushing division, making everything about race when it doesn't need to be. It's like we're all stuck in some bad movie where everyone's fighting over stupid stuff.
You're just running around looking for the exit, and this bad movie continues to just haunt you
So why does Ice Cube think race takes up too much space? Because he sees it dividing us when we should be connecting. He's saying we're so busy looking at skin color, we're missing the real stuff that matters. Who people really are, what they believe in. Is Cube right, or is he just stirring the pot for attention? That's the big question. But one thing's for sure, he's got people talking, and maybe that's the whole point. That Cube's got people talking, but what if he's just scratching the surface? Imagine being stuck in a movie theater, watching the same bad flick on repeat. That's how Ice Cube sees our world right now, and he's about to drop some knowledge that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about identity. Ice Cube's not pulling any punches. He says life in 2024 feels like we're all trapped in some twisted reality show. It seems like it's a bad movie and you can't get out, like you can't find the exit, and it continues to play on the screen and you're just running around looking for the exit.
It's like you're stuck in a bad movie and you can't get out. Like you can't find the exit and it continues to play on the screen.
That's heavy stuff, right? But Cube's not just complaining, he's calling out what he sees as a never-ending winless battle of race and color. Remember when hip-hop was about keeping it real? Cube does. He's throwing it back to Rakeem's classic line, "It ain't where you from, it's where you at." Cube thinks we've forgotten this lesson. It's not about your past or your skin color, it's about who you are right now. But reality TV's messing all that up. According to Cube, he says these shows are always really showing controversy and pitting each other against each other. They're not bringing us together, they're tearing us apart. But here's where Cube's take gets wild. He's saying identity politics has gone off the deep end. Listen to this.
You feel better about yourself when you say what needs to be said at the time it needs to be said, and not afterwards where you go home and think.
What if somebody say, I don't identify as black, I want to be another color. Yeah, purple, I'm purple. You can get purple. You laughing at me? Cancel your ass. You laughing at me cause I'm purple. It's crazy, right? But Cube's making a point. We're so caught up in labels and identities that we've lost sight of what really matters. So what does matter to Cube? Values. He says it's not about race, it's about who do you connect with? Who wants to do the right thing when you want to do the right thing? And he's saying we should be looking at who people are on the inside, not what they look like on the outside. But Cube's not done. He's got a warning for us. Everybody doesn't really have to affirm you.
And to hell with the consequences. You got to be willing to fight for your rights and fight for what you believe in.
That's called narcissism. Ouch. He's saying we can't demand everyone validate our every feeling or identity. That's not how the real world works. So is Cube onto something here, or is he oversimplifying some seriously complex issues? That's the big question. But one thing's for sure, Ice Cube's not afraid to speak his mind, even if it means pissing some people off. And in a world where everyone's walking on eggshells, maybe that's exactly what we need. Ice Cube's not afraid to ruffle some feathers, and man has he been ruffling them lately. Remember when he met with Trump's campaign back in 2020? People lost their minds. They called him a sellout, said he was cozying up to the enemy. But Cube? He wasn't having it. He said, I think people are exhausted by all this bipolarism. He's not wrong, is he? We're all so caught up in this us versus them mentality, we can't even have a conversation anymore. But here's the thing about Cube. He doesn't give a damn what you think. He's all about speaking his mind. Consequences be damned. Say what you want to say and to hell with the consequences. That's his motto, and you gotta respect that.
The gatekeepers. Nobody can talk about it because somebody above them told them no.
Even if you don't agree with him. Now, Cube's been talking about COVID vaccines too, but good luck figuring out what he really thinks. He's been cryptic as hell about it. Some people think he's anti-vax. Others think he's just asking questions. Either way, it's got people talking. But let's talk about freedom for a second. Cube's got his own definition of it in 2024, and it might surprise you. He thinks real freedom is being able to speak your mind without fear. But in this cancel culture world we're living in, is that even possible anymore? Here's where things get really interesting. Cube's got this theory about modern rap, and it's wild. He says after companies like BlackRock and Vanguard started controlling the music industry, then of course the agenda changed. He thinks these big corporations are pushing music with no substance on purpose.
People are afraid to speak out because of the cancer culture.
Why? To keep people dumb and docile. Sounds like some conspiracy theory stuff, right? But what if he's onto something? And get this, Cube still believes music can change minds and influence politics. He says, "I think music and art can bring up things that you may not have been thinking about and can make you more informed." Yeah. But he's not sure if people are actually listening. So why has Cube been shut out of shows like Oprah and The View? Is it because he's speaking truth to power, or have his controversial views just made him too hot to handle? Either way, it's got people asking, is Ice Cube a free thinker telling it like it is? Or has he lost touch with reality? What do you think? Ice Cube ain't backing down, that's for sure. He's telling everyone to speak up or deal with the regret later. It's like he's daring us to be real in a world that's all about fake. But here's the kicker. Cube's still pumped about performing. Why? He says it's all about the glory of life. Can you believe it? This hardcore rapper's out here talking about loving life and creating cool stuff. But let's get real for a second. Is there any hope for actual conversation in this crazy world? We've got people screaming at each other from both sides, and it's hard to see a way out. Cube thinks there might be, but only if we start listening to each other. Not just hearing, but really listening. It's a long shot, but hey, crazier things have happened, right?